Hey everyone, welcome to another video. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Irit, and on this channel I share my crochet adventures. So let's start with a little recap. If you missed any of the videos that I posted this week, I did a chat. I posted the second part of the cowl. What I'm wearing now is actually also a version of the cowl. It's kind of based on the same construction, and I am hoping to write a separate pattern for this. Yeah, but it's like a wraparound and it's really nice and it's so easy. So, which is what I'm all about, making crocheting easy to make and, you know, wearables with a great fit. That's my thing. That's my goal. Okay, and I also hope to post a little haul, I don't know, tomorrow. I can't decide if I'm gonna post first the chat or the video or the haul, but that doesn't matter because you'll just see what I did. So anyway, thank you for being here. And oh yes, important update. I knew I had some important update. So I added to the written pattern of the half and half sweater, I added a bonus which includes this scalloped edge, which is so simple it's ridiculous. It's just one row instead of doing the ribbing, so you still have to do kind of this base, like preparation row or base row, just to clean the edge, and I show that and explain everything in the pattern. But instead of then adding a ribbing like the sleeves, you can add this scallop border, which is super simple and I think very effective, very cute and feminine. And I also added mine here at the bottom of the sweater, and it's just, it looks great, it works up fast, and it's also easy to adjust and make it, you know, a little bit tighter for the neckline if you don't want like the neck edge to stand up. So really great. And then I included a second option, which is just like a simple edge, and that's what I made for this version. This is even simpler than the other two options, and I just like it. I think it works particularly well for something like this that is very colorful, and so you might want to keep kind of the details to a minimum because it just doesn't really show on, you know, such colorful yarn. And it still has like the ribbing in the sleeves and the bottom of the sweater. I also actually did ribbing. I think that's a good combo. This works well for the neckline, and it is really easy. So that bonus is included. You can find the pattern in a few places, and I have updated all of them with the bonus materials. It just makes this pattern even more versatile, which is, you know, it's like a win-win. So that is that. Oh, and the pattern also includes access to a classroom with videos for every step of the way. I'm doing the same here on YouTube. You don't have to buy the pattern, but if you want to, it's there for you. And then you can also sign in for the classroom, and you can have all the video tutorials like very nicely organized, and the new PDF is also in there. So if you buy the pattern through my online school, it's available for you wherever you may choose to buy the patterns. So I wanted to say that these are really great options. I don't know which one I like best, but probably I like these two more than adding ribbing on the neckline because it's faster and easier. So that's always the top of my priority, and it looks great, I mean, obviously. So that's that update. Some more updates. Okay, I will upload the haul first because it just makes more sense. So if you want to see the haul, if you want to see like all the details of these yarns that I'm going to talk about, you can go check that video out. But yeah, I got some new yarns, new to me, from Hobbii, and I worked some samples with them. So this is this new Arezzo yarn. I got it at Hobby. This is the composition of it. The color is 40-30. So I suspected that this would be kind of a rougher fiber because it has linen in it, and it is. So I'm not sure, it's not like itchy or anything. It feels nice on the skin. I'm not very sensitive, so just be aware of that, but it feels nice on the skin, but it's not soft. And I like my clothes to be like soft and nice against my skin. So I don't know how I feel about this. What I like about it, first of all, it's very easy to work with. It's kind of a dry fiber, you know, there's no halo or anything. I made this little swatch with a 3.5mm hook. You can see the top here is, or the bottom, that's how I started. The bottom is just like, you know, single crochet and then, I don't know, half double or double, what I did there. And then here is my usual stitch, which is just single crochet, double crochet. It's what I used for the sweaters, for the half and half sweaters. And yeah, what I love about this is the color. This blue is exactly what I had in mind for something I want to design, but I'm not sure I love it enough to, like, I think maybe I will look for more. I placed, oopsie, another order from Hobby, but this hopefully will be like an order that makes sense, you know, not just like trying stuff to see if I like them. It's the Rainbow Bamboo yarn, which is lovely. I've had experience with it. I've tried it before and I really, really like it. And they have beautiful colors. The color selection is great. And so I also ordered a couple of their blues, and I'm hoping it'll be something similar to this, because this is exactly what I want. This is like this cornflower blue, and I really want that. But yeah, it's a little bit rough. I don't know how this would be knitted, but crocheted, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced. But, you know, it is like a completely natural fiber, plant-based, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe something like a bit more open and lacy, like to put on top a tank top. Maybe for that. But as just like something, you know, to wear right against your skin, there are like nicer options that feel more luxurious, I feel. So that's that. Now the other one that I was actually pleasantly surprised is the nameless one. So I got just like this one skein. I guess the like this company just puts these little things like you have in pots, so it's not wrapped around with the information. This is Morning Salutation from Kremke, I want to say. I think they are a German brand, as far as I understand. And this is one of their vegan yarns, and this color is number 11 on Hobby. I think it's called Gold, and you can only get this yarn with points. And on their website, so I went to the Kremke website, and from there I can order it. It's not the cheapest, but they do have lovely colors. And oh, on their website this color is called Lemon. It's not lemon at all. I would say this is like a gold olive color. Yeah. So this is what I like about this. Let's talk a little bit about the composition. So this is about, I can't remember exactly the percentage, but it's about half cotton and half tencel or lyocell, and which makes it also more environmentally friendly than just cotton. I mean, I love cotton, and there are some amazing cotton yarns out there, and I don't think anything will ever completely replace that. but I do know that cotton requires a lot of water and I think also pesticides, which, so I'm not sure how this whole like organic cotton, I think it just needs a lot of resources, and fibers like bamboo and lyocell are more sustainable and renewable. And I know the process of creating tencel, which is like 50% what this is made of, is, I think it's like a closed circuit. So it's considered one of the most environmentally friendly, sustainable fibers. And I, you know, if I find something that I like, I'm willing to pay a little bit more for that to avoid synthetic materials. And, you know, it has to work for me. So I'm not going to sit here and, you know, pretend that all I care about is like being environmentally friendly. I'm far from perfect. I just, you know, I think every step helps. And so I'm trying to like try yarns and find ones that are more environmentally friendly, but I still like them and enjoy working with them, and they feel good and work for me and everything. So I made a sample with this with 5. I make knots here. I make knots so that I can remember which one I used. And this is my kind of go-to stitch these days, the single crochet, double crochet. And it was really, really lovely to work with it. What I like about it is that unlike the next yarn, which I'm going to show you, this one doesn't have a sheen. No, it's quite matte and flat. So I'm very tempted. I'm really feeling this color. It really feels like springy to me. I don't like a lot of shades of green, but this green, I'm vibing with it. So I see something with this green in my mind, and I might order a few skeins of this to make it. It's just, there's a line, and there are like a few things before this, so I don't want to like order a ton of stuff. First I want to get that bamboo. I have a goal for that in my head, and after that I will move on to the next garment, but I'm definitely consider using this yarn because it kind of ticks all the boxes. I wish you get only like 110 meters in a 50-gram ball, and I think they cost €4.50, something in that area. So it's kind of okay. Kind of wish it was just a little bit lighter. I think they have actually a fine version of this now that I'm thinking about it, so maybe I should try that one. But obviously, you know, the advantage of using something a little bit thicker is that it works up fast, and this was really, really lovely to work with. So that's why it's like so important not to just, you know, feel the yarns, but also work with them. And yeah, this I just, you know, enjoyed, like kept going, and it was really nice to work with. And I think it also looks nice in this stitch, and knowing that I can use a 5mm hook, that's also a big advantage. I mean, it's not super closed, but you can see, like, I think that it's not, I mean, you can see a little bit through it, right, when I move it around, but yeah, I think it's like good enough. So this was a good surprise, and I'm glad that I used some of my points from Hobbii to try it. But yeah, I'll have to order it from their website. Okay, moving on to the other interesting fiber, which is the Tencel Bamboo Fine. This one. So I made a little sample of it. My idea was to use 2 threads and kind of play with the colors. So that kind of was my original idea. A few things about it. So this is the result. Yeah, first of all, I'm not too crazy on how it looks, but kind of in my imagination, it would be kind of a combination. So I would start using 2 strands of this color, then I would switch to 1 and 1, and then I would switch to 2 from this color. So it would be kind of in between. So I kind of have to like play with that. a few things that bothered me. This is, I would definitely not recommend this yarn for beginners. It's very, very slippery. I don't mind that much. That wasn't a big problem. It also splits quite a bit, slips and splits, and yeah, but it wasn't like particularly challenging to work with. But you know, once you find the hook and you find your rhythm and you kind of work with the stitch, but it definitely doesn't work up as fast, for example, like the previous yarn that I showed you. And for 2 strands I used, I can't remember which hook I used, but I think it was also like a 5 or something. So it just became, I mean, this is the sample, so the bottom row is I think a single crochet, and then I switched to my go-to single double. It just turned a little bit thicker than I would have liked. This definitely has very nice drape to it. You can tell just by like holding the yarn. But yeah, I'm not sure. So after working with the two together and feeling that it was just a little bit too thick for what I had in mind, I thought, okay, they have a version of this that is not fine. This is the fine. They have one that is not, which I've shown in a previous video. And yeah, so I could maybe just work with a single strand of that. But then when I looked at the colors, they have a lot less colors from the thicker, the heavier weight of this yarn, and like most of them are not in stock. So I still think I might go with these, and what I'm thinking of is still, I think I will use them single strand, because I think the double is just a bit too thick for like a nice light drapey summer garment that I have in mind, or like a spring summer top. And maybe just try and figure out a different way to play with the colors in the transitions, because I do feel like I want to do, I found a few other colors. There's like a really nice a kind of jewel tone, so there's like this nice green and there's this really nice blue, and I think I could do something with like this, you know, more mature rainbow colors. That's kind of what I have in my head. So yeah, but this is going to stand in line after the other stuff. And then I also remembered that because I had this swatch lying around, that this is a knitted swatch, but I also remembered that I actually have quite a few skeins of this yarn, which is Pure by Katja, and it's 100% cotton, and it is kind of chain spun, so I don't know if you can see that, but if you can see like the fiber, that it's chain spun. And yeah, I have this color, which is also I think really lovely for spring or summer. But yeah, but this is a kind of thicker yarn, so I think it would actually be really, really nice for spring. And yeah, so I should probably use it, because I think it's like, you know, good color, and all of the qualities of it really fit a spring sweater. So it reminded me that I have this and I should use it. Okay, now progress of my first design in my head. It's all in my head. For my spring collection, my imaginary spring collection. You got to start somewhere. So this is one sleeve, and then this is the other. And again, this is based on my half and half sweater. I gotta tell you, I mean, I am so glad that also other people have already made sweaters with this, because they just reaffirm what I think, but I thought maybe I'm just like too, you know, in my head, or yeah, but other people are loving this as much as I am. That makes me so happy. I can't even tell you. And yeah, so let me show you what I have. the whole construction, if you're not familiar with my half and half sweater, the construction is you start with the cuffs, so 2 separate pieces, half and half, and then you do the sleeve, and then you start the body, and then you split it to front panels and back panels. And in the original pattern, we join the 2 halves in the middle in the front and in the middle in the back. However, it's not a must. You can actually join these pieces anywhere. So or not join the front pieces at all, you know, to make a cardigan or to make like this wraparound top that I have. But what I had in mind for this sweater is kind of, I want to add a few more embellishments kind of here on the side. And you can see that I also added some rows here of, I just stopped using my go-to stitch pattern and just added a few rows of, this is back loop only, half double crochet on the right side, and then on the wrong side just half double crochet. So you can see the sleeve is with my regular stitch pattern, and then there are a few rows of this, and then it goes back to the regular stitch pattern. And so I'm just going to do the other sleeve, which I started already, and then I'm just going to join it on the side. So this whole panel is completely seamless. And then I want to add stuff, which, you know, first I'll complete the sweater, then I'll show you what I want to add or figure it out if it looks good. But this is where I am. So this is the front. I haven't done the back yet, but I'm getting there. I don't think I have enough yarn in this color to finish this. So we'll see. I'm playing Yarn Chicken. I did get an email from Phildar, which is the company that makes this yarn. This yarn is called Bon Bon, and it's fun to work with. It's not so fun to frog it, but it's not impossible. And I'm using a 7mm hook, and I don't mind that it's a little bit open, because in my head this is going to be kind of a loose fitted top that I'm going to wear over a tank top. So I don't need it to be like super closed. Like you can see, this is completely, you can't see through this. So it's the same stitch, but I just went up a little bit. I don't know if this yarn wouldn't look better worked double strand, but yeah. So anyway, I'm loving the color, I'm loving the shape. I want to finish it, and I got an email from Phildar that they have new colors, including a little darker version of this. It's not what I had in my mind, but I think I will have to get it and see how I feel about it. And yeah, so I might just order just a few more skeins of this, yeah, so that I just have a little bit more wiggle room to play with it. But it is really, really nice. And the idea that I have for this one, for the kind of finishing touches, so this is a very kind of light and airy thing, and what I'm thinking is actually to use something a little bit heavier, like a different fiber, maybe something just a little bit shiny or sparkly, to add the edges on the neckline and the bottom of the sweater, just to like give it a little bit of weight, because I feel like otherwise it might just like stand around because it's like so light. And maybe also around the sleeves. The sleeves are less, like, they're not so urgent to me, because the edge is still like nice and smooth. But you know, this edge, it doesn't look bad or anything, but I think it could be just a little bit more polished. And actually in this yarn it doesn't look bad at all. I mean, with this, I really felt the edging was a must. Here I don't feel that, but I think it might add something, like a really nice detail to it. So that's what I plan to do. So the plan is to do the other sleeve and then join the front. I actually usually join them first in the back. We'll see. I don't know yet, but yeah, playing Yarn Chicken because I don't think I have enough. And yeah, I really like how this is coming together. Really love the color. It makes me feel, you know, springy. So this is a fun project. Okay, progress on a couple of things that are not mine. So I showed you this when it was really at the, after like a couple of rows. And I'm using Trefili yarn from either Lang Yarns or Lana Grossa. I can't remember. I'm not sure. One of those. But yeah, this is as far as one skein took me. And it's okay. It's further than I feared. And now I switched to a different color. I'm just trying to use stuff from my stash that fit the gauge. So now I'm switching to this color, and I think they look, well, you can see where I live, right, with the colors. So yeah. So I switched to this color, and this is coming along great. I tried it on, it looks nice. Now comes the kind of tricky part with not creating too many increases, but yeah, it's a little bit heavy, but I think I'll stop here. I don't think I'll do like an entire sleeve, and yeah, and then we'll see how long I go for the bottom. But yeah, this is where I'm at. This is kind of what I do when I don't want to focus anymore on my own patterns and I just want to like follow something else. Okay, the last update is the Secret Yarnery Cal from 2021. And I tried a bunch of stuff, including... Okay, so I'll show you where I'm at. So right now I'm thinking I'm going to do a join as you go granny with the cream. I don't have enough white for another round, and I actually really like how the cream is looking. I feel it's very kind of soft and kind of softens a bit this very, very harsh white. The harsh white is great to really let like all these colors pop. I mean, this is a softer color, but you can see here I have the other colors and it really lets them pop. So I like it for that, but other than that, it's kind of, this white is a bit too stark for me. I really prefer the cream. This is Saver from Ice Yarns. And I did the same thing. So this is a join as you go. I did the same thing with the anthracite black yarn that I have, and it was just too much black. So I don't know. And I didn't want to get like too complicated and add, you know, the cream and then something in black. So what I'm thinking of is that I'll do a quick, easy join as you go for all the squares, and then I'll do a fabulous, in my head, of course, I have to find the right pattern and stitch, do like a fabulous border with white, cream, and a pop of black. I really want to do something that kind of looks like polka dots, but yeah, I still have to like maybe some bubbles or something super, super cute. So that's my plan for the border. But as for the join as you go, I don't know, I didn't want too much black. I just felt it was just a bit much for personal taste. This is totally personal taste. So I'm thinking I'm just going to go with a simple granny join as you go. Just to make, you know, everything in one piece, and then I can go crazy on the border. That's what I think I'll do. So yeah, that is it with all my updates. I hope you enjoyed this, and next week I will show you the third part of the cal, which is probably my favorite part. It takes a little bit of imagination, but you have to kind of trust me, trust the process, and see how we're going to build this sweater. Yeah, it's my favorite part. So I hope you are all working on your sleeves. The one thing I didn't say in the video about the sleeves that I really needed to is to make sure they are identical. Now, you can kind of correct at pretty much kind of any point. It is forgiving, so if you missed a stitch, if you find that you have in one shoulder a couple of stitches more in one sleeve, a couple of stitches more than the other sleeve, you can correct it, and I would suggest correcting it anywhere, you know, here or when we start the body then. But you don't want to correct any of that when we get to the center part of the sweaters, because it's going to be more noticeable. And yeah, so make sure they are exactly identical. You have the same number of stitches. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon in another video. Take